was a giant.
You may not be allowed to hit a woman, but you can hit a man. The Hitman by Gametime Archery.
Okay, this is my review of the Hitman bow sight by Gametime Archery. And I'm going to break this down by going over the positives and going over the negatives of this sight, in my opinion. So, to start off, the positives about this sight, there are a lot. The first one, obviously, is the technology of this sight, which makes it unique. Not that pendulum sights have never been made before. They have in the past, but they seem like they fizzled out. But what is really cool about this sight is, number one, you loosen this up when you're up in a tree, and of course your pendulum sight will go out, and that helps adjust for your angle. But if you're on the ground, you just tighten that up, and then it's fixed there. It's not going anywhere. So that's really cool about this sight. Number two, you also have a 1-pin adjustable on the bottom. So you can adjust that. You would put your stickers here, and then you would mark out your yardage as you deem appropriate. So really cool about this sight is the technology. I love that about it. You also have 2 levels. You have a level up here for the pendulum sight, and you have a level down here for your 1-pin adjustable. The LEDs on this are great. I think you'll even be able to see it when I put this at its highest setting in a completely lit room. So when you're in a low light setting, this thing is definitely going to stand out, and you will be able to see it. There are 3. There we go. That's at its brightest setting, and you can probably even see that on here. It's kind of lit this up blue, and so it helps a lot when you're in a low light setting. Another positive about the sight, as I'm looking at it, a lot of sights use Allen wrenches to make your adjustments, and sometimes you can lose your Allen wrenches, forget where you placed them. What you have here is you would just use a Phillips head screwdriver to make your adjustments north and south on this. I think that's kind of cool. So another positive about this sight, and you don't need Allen wrenches to make adjustments left or right. All you do is loosen up the screw here and here, and then you can move left or right. You don't have to have an Allen wrench to do that. When I first got this and I was sliding it in, it didn't take me very long to start, shooting bullets, so to speak. So it didn't take me very long. I had it sighted in at 20 yards quickly. And then, of course, the bread and butter is the technology of this pendulum sight. So I got up in a tree and I started shooting at 20 yards. And I did that standing up, and I was doing great. And then I sat down in the seat and I was shooting at 20 yards again. I was doing really tight groups. And sometimes when you're standing and sitting, it might be hard to find that same form, hard to line up exactly the same. But I was able to do that relatively with ease with this sight when I first got it. So was really excited about that. Now, before I get into the negatives, there are 2 things I want to say. Number one, I'm not bragging, but I'm excited to say that I was the first person to shoot a deer with the Hitman bow sight. It does work, and I've had success with it. And number 2, before we get into the negatives, I just want to say that the people who have made this, the owner, his daughter, the family, have been great. They've been easy to talk to, they've been nice, they have been helpful, and so the people behind the product seem to be very, very good, very nice people, and so I think that should count for something as well. So just want to thank them for actually sending me this to review it, and appreciate that very much, and appreciate them. Now, with that being said, I've got to go through, and there are just two negative things that I would say about this bow for me personally. As you can see here, on this pendulum sight, as this goes down and the end of your sight is here, it'll have your green dot right there. What I have found with that compared to other sights that I've had in the past is it is a little bit big. And so when it comes to hunting, you want to aim small, miss small. And so it's just a little bit big. Now, if you have a hard time seeing, then this negative will be a positive for you because it's a big sight. You'll be able to see your pin. It's a big pin. If you can see, you see just fine. You might prefer a smaller pin. So that is just one negative that I noticed. Comparing that to other sights that I've used in the past, those pins are much smaller than this one. And of course the second one, which is probably, I'm sure if anybody has a negative thing to say about this sight, I'm sure it's going to be this. And that is, it is not a circular sight, it is a rectangular sight. Okay, well, why does that matter? Why does that make a difference? Okay, and I'm going to explain this to you the best I can because I'm a simple man, so there's a lot that I don't know myself. But if you have a peephole that's circular and your sight is circular, what you should try to do is not just when you're shooting, look through your pin and line up your pin and shoot at line your pin up to the target and shoot. It's a little bit more than that when you're hunting. And I'm going to explain this like this. Have you ever shot a group of arrows and you've got one or two of them that are just straight as can be, and then you have a third arrow or whatever that's like coming in at a slightly different angle? Well, the best way that I can explain that, other than maybe your arrow's messed up, is the most likely cause is you haven't lined up everything the same. So you should line up your circular peep with your circular sight, and you should be trying to shoot at the, judge that out, and you should be shooting it the same each time. If you haven't lined up your circular sight with your peep, and maybe you're coming at it at a little bit different angle, you're going to shoot different. Even if you line up your sight to the target, it's going to shoot at a different angle. So that's the best way that I can explain it. And so back to this is a rectangular sight, and you're going to be looking at it with a circular peep. So the hard thing that it's going to be really hard for you to do is find that same angle with that sight every single time. I'm not going to say that it's impossible, but it's going to be hard to do. And so eventually shooting this sight, what I found was, for me, is if I'm not shooting at that exact same angle every time, it was unforgiving for me. And so I was shooting some mixed groups. But if you can get that where maybe you mark it in different places, I don't know, but something that'll help you line that peep up with this sight at the same place, at the same angle every single time. Now, as long as you do that, probably going to be shooting lights out. I mean, like I said, I was shooting, awesome groups right out the gate. So that's just probably more of a, just a warning to be careful of if you get it. And check it out and make sure you're hitting that peep with that sight, and you're getting it the same spot, same angle every single time. What I would like for you to do is to leave a comment in the comment section and let me know if you've got one, if you're getting one, and let me know how you were able to shoot it, and let me know your thoughts. Also in the comments, if you like this video, please like and subscribe for future content. And as always, I want to say, draw near to God and He'll draw near to you.